Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. This video was actually requested by a subscriber and I thought, why didn't I make this video anyway? I can't believe someone had to point out to me that I should do this video. Thank you so much to my subscriber who did so. This is going to be all about my favorite autumnal blushes and lipsticks. And I tried to keep it to just 5 in each category. So we're gonna talk about 5 lipsticks, or lip products, I should say, and 5 blushes. Now, I am very much a seasonal makeup wearer. Certain times of the year, I don't reach for certain colors at all. And fall is when I want to reach for my most rich, luscious colors. And it seems to be the time of year when I also want to wear warm tones, which I'm often drawn to more cool tones. So when I'm feeling this way, I gotta lean into it and use all of my beautiful, rich, warm toned, even kind of like red makeup. Before I get into it, I gotta tell you about my tea of the day. So this is from Choice Organics. This is their oolong tea, just in a regular tea bag. Whenever I say oolong in a tea bag, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Oolong is usually rolled really tightly, so it needs a lot of room to expand, to unfurl and release all of its flavors. So I'm just never quite sure if an oolong tea in a tea bag is going to be much good. But I actually think the depth of flavor is really good for a bagged oolong. If you've never tried oolong before and you really don't know if you want to try loose leaf, I actually think the one from Choice Organics is a really good gateway oolong. Shall we do lipsticks first and then go into blush? Maybe let's start with the lipstick that I'm wearing. So the shade I'm wearing is from Lisa Eldridge. This is the shade Painterly. So this lipstick is from her Luxuriously Lucent line, which means that it's not her intensely pigmented matte formula. This is her more sheer to buildable, slightly glossy formula. So this is not going to be a super high shine formula like the Tarte Maracuja lips or anything. It is still a lipstick, but it has a little bit of shine to it. It goes on really easily. It's very, very pretty. But this color, let me tell you, I just crave this type of shade this time of year. So there's a light swatch of that, and on my hand it's looking kind of pink, isn't it? But it's not a pink lipstick. Let me just make that clear. It has enough brown in it so that to me this is a very autumnal lipstick. Lisa Eldridge really has interesting colors, and the packaging is very nice too. Now I know I've shown this, but this is like one of the nicer magnetic closures. It's just so satisfying. But now that I've shown you Painterly, I'm going to wipe off my lipstick and try on the next one. I want to show you another Lisa Eldridge shade. This is the shade Meet Me in Berlin. So this doesn't always go with whatever color story I'm going on my face. I really have to kind of build my color story around this lipstick shade. This is a beautiful kind of grungy brown, and it's in that same beautiful Lucent lipstick formula. I'm just going to start with one swipe so you can see how it can be nice and sheer at the beginning. So that is one swipe. You know, that's a pretty wearable brown, but you can easily build it up to be more intense, which I usually don't do. It just starts to look weird on my skin tone if I build it up too much. But on someone with a little more color to their skin tone, this is such a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous color. So rich, so luscious. Are there any Lisa Eldridge lipsticks that you have that you like to reach for in the fall? I'd like to know. Let's move on to a couple of MAC lipsticks. So this one is named Marrakesh-mere, and this is the Powder Kiss lipstick. The Powder Kiss formula is really nice because it's matte, but very, very comfortable. I really enjoy it. And as you can see, this is like a bricky red color. So lightweight on the lips. Like you're never gonna get like sticky lipstick, messy lipstick with this formula. Ooh, that is such a pretty shade, isn't it? This is about as red as I can go. Or maybe the next lipstick I'm gonna show you is another one. It's about as red as I can go. I can do brick red. Otherwise, I kind of stay away from red, but this is the time of year when I absolutely pull out these. This shade, Marrakesh-mere, by the way, I keep seeing in TJ Maxx, so I don't know if they had like an overstock of this shade, but it's lovely. So this next shade from MAC is in the Lustreglass formula, and this is the shade Business Casual. I discovered this earlier this year, and ooh, I just love this one. So as you can imagine from the name, this is more of a glossy formula, which is typically my preference. Very, very comfortable. And this is definitely as red as I go. It has enough brown in it. I can pull it off. It's not too red. Delightful. When it comes to MAC lipsticks, what do you like more? The Lustreglass, the Powder Kiss, their regular matte formula? Which one do you prefer? I'd love to know. Okay, the last product is actually a lip liner, and this is the lip liner I've been panning, but it is a product I have been really enjoying wearing all of the lips by itself. So this is from Goss. This is the shade Mauve, which doesn't really sound like an autumnal color, but I don't know. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all filled in. I just love that color, and to me it is very autumnal. I don't often wear this deep of colors other times of the year. And wearing this all over the lips like this, it's quite long wearing. I mean, way more so than any of the other formulas I showed you. And it's very thin on the lips, which I appreciate. And when I'm tired of having it matte, I just pull out a clear gloss and it like brings it to the next level. I just used Undone Beauty's Big Papa Gloss in Watercolor Rose, which is basically clear. It's very high shine, and I have been loving wearing this lip combo this time of year. Okay, let's move on to blush. Let's start with the blush that I'm currently wearing. The one that I'm wearing is actually from NYX. This is the Sweet Cheeks Soft Cheek Tint Blush Mousse in the shade Nude Tude. So it is a kind of a deep neutral taupe. And honestly, this is a blush that I wear all year long, but it's such a beautiful, rich color that this was one of the ones I immediately thought of for this video. Rich, of course, for my skin tone. If you're looking for a rich neutral, that's what I should say, a rich neutral. So this blends out to be completely matte. And even though I just use my fingers there, I almost always use a brush. It's super blendable and it sets down. You don't have to worry about anything sticky or moving around. If you enjoy neutral blushes, I mean, really, it's a top favorite of mine, and I keep recommending it on my channel. I keep trying so many blushes, and no matter how much I love these other ones, I always go back to this one. It is an excellent color and formula, and it's a lot more inexpensive than some of the ones I've tried. Let's talk about an indie blush. This color from Phytosurgence, the shade Inferno, is absolutely the deepest, most just yum shade in my whole collection. So these blushes are very interesting. They're kind of, I don't want to say stiff, but sort of stiff. They're very melty though. So you put your finger in there, it'll instantly start to melt, just like chocolate. You don't need to apply any sort of pressure. Whatever you pick up is going to be more than enough for both cheeks. So I'm just going to put that there. I mean, oh, it's such a glorious color. And it can look really intimidating, but I'm just actually going to use Phytosurgence's Sky Fluff brush just to show you that you just gently buff it and you've got a gorgeous color on your cheeks. On my face, it doesn't usually require that much buffing as it did in my hand just now. But there you can see the color is much more approachable, but since it's very pigmented, it doesn't take much to build it up. I do not have another brick red in my collection. This is most definitely probably my top pick for like an autumnal blush in my collection. This is another one that blends out to be soft, matte, and pretty budge proof. Very thin on the skin, and they have lots of really interesting colors, but this would be my top one for the fall. I just realized that the majority of these are all like drugstore, which that is really cool. I didn't even do that on purpose. This one is from J.Cat. So this is the Blushmallow Soft Blusher in the shade Thank You Very Much. So this has the soft, squishy formula. I often find that soft, squishy formulas like this are quite blurring on the skin. They're just very flattering. They do not highlight your pores. This is another soft matte formula. And while it says Thank You Very Much, I really don't think it's a berry shade. To me, it's a very rusty tone. Or at least it pulls it up that way on my skin tone. But this is another one that blends out super easily. For this one, I don't usually apply it with my fingers. I will use a stipple brush, something like this. I think this is a discontinued brush from e.l.f., but something like this. I'll just go in and, you know, press it in. Beautiful shade, and they're really inexpensive. I buy mine at Ulta. I think they're still available at Ulta, but J.Cat does have their own website which has a lot more stuff than you can find at Ulta. Ooh, I absolutely love this product. So this is from Undone Beauty. This is the Lip to Cheek palette, and I have the shade Rosewood. So it's meant to be into 3 separate sections. The top section is the most sheer of the bunch, then medium, and then this down here is supposed to have the most pigment. I tended to swirl the whole palette together. This formula is more of what I would think is kind of a classic cream blush formula. Got a little bit more heft to it. It can feel sticky in the pan, but often when I am dealing with a blush like this, it just makes me excited. I feel like it's gonna stay really well when it's this type of formula. And I do notice that with this, that I get a really good wear time. That shade. So right now, I know it looks pretty dewy, and by no means is it matte in comparison to like these other formulas, but I don't notice my cheeks actually being sticky with this. It is very pigmented. You do not need much, as you can see. I was trying to blend it and it wasn't shearing out really at all. I tend to just tap my finger in there, put it on my cheek, and then blend it out with a brush. Undone Beauty has a ton of colors. They're not expensive. This shade to me is so autumnal, and honestly, I just love it. It's stunning. Okay, one more. This one from Colourpop. It's great. This is the Blush Stix. And this is one of those shades that comes in and out of stock, and sometimes it doesn't even show up on the website, like it's been discontinued and then it comes back. I don't know. I figured I would just mention it anyway, because this, for me, is one of the top blushes I want to reach for in the autumn. It looks like a very rich brown. And when I swatch it, you'll see that on me it is quite a rich color. But I'm just going to use a brush and start to blend that out. So this is another one that for me is just a really rich neutral. If you like brown blush, I mean, look, it blended out so beautifully. So even someone with very fair skin could pull this off. I'm gonna add a little bit more just so you can see how nice that is. So I don't know if this is still available, but just in case you have this in your collection, I wanted to give you the reminder. It's a beautiful autumn blush. Pull it out this autumn and see what you think. All right, this is the type of video that I could go on and on and on. It's a good thing I cut myself off at 5 products each, but I am super curious. What are your favorite fall shades for lip products and blushes? If you're wondering about eyeshadows, I did do a video last year talking about my favorite fall eyeshadow palettes. I was thinking about doing it again this year, but I think it would just be all the same things. So if you're interested, I'll try and dig that out and link it down below. But yes, please share all your favorites. I love reading your guys' comments. I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye!